Welcome back to the MTR Network, movietrailerreviews.net. It's your host, Kriss, and I got Phenom with me here, and we are reviewing the Disney movie Queen of Katwe. A Uganda girl sees the world rapidly change after being introduced to the game of chess. It is directed by Mira Nair, and it is stars David Oyelowo, Lupita Nyong'o, Medina Nawaga. Probably butchering that name, and I'm completely sorry for that.
Lupita.
You said what?
I said Lupita.
Well, I already named her. You got her.
Oh,
you can name her twice.
I do. Well, yeah, because she deserved two times the fine. Yes. Even when Lupita is poor, she is fine. And her in them African dresses is a whole nother level of stunning.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, she's amazing.
Lupita is chocolate fine. She is just like chocolate fine, ass fine.
Well, let me just say right now, this is a film, and it reminds me of so many. You think you've seen this film before? It's basically it's gonna sound fucked up, and it's gonna sound like this is bad. It's basically all those white savior movies you've seen before. We're gonna teach these underprivileged kids about soccer, and that's gonna learn and teach them how to get out of being poor, and that's how they're gonna beat the prep schools and stuff like that, and become the best soccer team there ever was. It's that kind of movie, except it's done better. One, because it's not a white savior in this movie at all.
Nope.
The white savior is black as fuck. And not just black. It's not even like he's American black. He is African black. You know,
David Oyelowo is the white person of this film.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this film so amazing to me. And I think this also, and we'll get into this later, why the reviews aren't as good as they should be, because this is an amazing fucking film. This is a film that you should go see. This is a film that you're gonna watch and be like, I can't believe Disney made this film, because it does everything the white savior films try to do, but can't because they're white savior films. This film gets you with everything. It hits you with class. It hits you with some real. There are moments in this film you are gonna legit want to cry. You are gonna. Your tears are gonna. Your eyes are gonna well up. You're gonna feel bad. Like it's like the girl is Fiona. That is her name, and she. When I say she is living in like the slum, she is. She has. They are dirt poor. They are like you when you see her, when you first come across her, she's basically covered in mud. She's carrying water that she's gotten for her family back as she watches the other kids who are also living, you know, not living that great either, but at least they have uniforms. They're going to school. She's not even going to school. She doesn't know how to read. She's trying to take care of her family. She's trying to help her mom. They don't really tell you what happened with her dad. I guess her father left or was killed, or they don't really go into that. But you just know the family is struggling, and her mom, Lupita Nyong'o, is just, is trying her best. And
she is a poor black mama. That's what she is.
Right. And
she is a poor black mama.
They do a good job of
poor black mama.
And you really notice it when you watch the end of the film, and at the end of the film they bring out the actors, and then they bring out their actual real life counterparts, and you can just see. Which
I thought was an awesome way to do the credits.
Oh, it's an amazing credit.
That was really good.
Well, it also shows you just how much that they wanted to really make sure they were telling the story, and you get that because like there are times when you feel like Lupita's going to be that evil mom who doesn't care about her daughter and is just trying to exploit her, and then you start realizing, it's like, oh wait, no, she's not that. She's actually the caring mother who is literally trying everything she can to literally feed her family and keep a roof over their heads. And like, there's a scene in this film where they get evicted from the shack they were living in. Like, and when I say it's a shack, a literal shack. The landlady comes in, says you didn't pay, and the reason why they didn't pay is because Fiona's brother got hit by a motorcycle and had to go to the hospital.
And they had to take him to the hospital, and she locked it up while they were at the hospital for 2 days.
Right.
That was crazy.
Because they couldn't pay for the rent because they used that money to make sure her brother didn't die. So there's a scene there where the family is like it's the mother, Fiona, the daughter.
The mother is two brothers and his older sister.
Yeah, the older sister isn't there. The older sister isn't there with them. They have a younger, like almost infant, not infant, but like 2 or 3 year old.
He's like 3,
brother.
And he grows up over time because he does start off as a baby,
right?
And then as the film progresses, he gets older.
Well, I think
which was the only character that got older and grew.
Right. Well, I think the film
progressed over time.
Yeah, I think the film it takes place over 5 years. I think it's about 5 years.
Starts in 2007.
Right.
Goes all the way to 2011 to 2012.
Right.
So then it jumps to at the end when they tell you what years they won things, like 2014 and shit.
Right. But like, there's that scene where they're literally this family's walking, trying to find somewhere just so a corner they can set their stuff down, and it is heart-wrenching because you see them struggling, and you see the strength of Lupita trying to keep this family together, and it's heart-wrenching. And then on top of that, you have the story, and the story really is about Fiona and her learning the game of chess and wanting to get out of the environment she's living in, and how she's taught chess by Robert, played by David Oyelowo, the teacher, how she's taught chess and how she uses that, and even at some points dreams so big to try to get out, and then at some points has that dream snatched away from her, having to face reality. And I think they really set it up by saying that chess is a game about always trying to escape your reality, and that is what they kind of tie her trying to do and get out with chess. And it's a really good film, man. It's a really great film. Like, this is a film who go, man, I want black films that that aren't about slavery. This is a film you want to see. A good feel-good film that doesn't focus on just being a football story or a basketball story. This young girl, she literally becomes one of the youngest chess masters, women chess masters there is. And when you see how she had to learn, and remember, she learned chess before she could really learn how to read.
This is a person that learned how to read so she could learn to become a chess master. She didn't learn to read because they were like, you should know how to read. Before she started playing chess, nobody cared if she knew how to read or not.
Right.
But then when he told her that you could learn all the secrets to becoming a master by learning how to read, she was all about that shit. And I like the fact that they didn't do some old bullshit. Oh my God, they didn't do some old bullshit as montage of her being taught how to read and being taught how to play chess and going to school and trying to still fend for her family. Like, I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad they left all of that extra stuff out so we could progress through this girl's life and watch her get these achievements and these accolades from chessing it up.
I watched Race earlier this year, the Jesse Owens movie, and it just annoyed me because it's like there's so much of the story you can tell without centering it on white people and the white coach and basically sanitizing it. They don't do that with this film at all. I mean, the first time she comes in, because basically what David's done is they speak so much on just class and the struggles of people in Uganda and things like that. Like Robert, he finished top of his class, has an engineering degree, can't find a job, and one of the reasons why he couldn't find a job is like one time he goes in for a job and they're like, well, do I know your family? Who's your family? Like, it's about who you know. It's about all of that kind of stuff. And he doesn't have all that stuff, even though he finished top of his class. And it's just like, you have to deal with that. He ends up getting a job working for a guy who has a ministry, and one of the things they do on the side is they help the underprivileged kids. So he sets up this. I can't. What do you call them? Explorers? I can't remember what the program is he set up that calls. And so he's teaching all these kids how to play chess. So while it's a story about Fiona, there are other young Ugandans here who are also good at chess and also learn, and they go out and they beat some of these other prep schools and stuff like that. But the first time Fiona comes in, she's covered in, she's been working, around the house with her mom. She's been trying to get water in it, so she thinks she hasn't bathed. So he comes in. The other kids make fun of her.
She hasn't bathed in days.
Yeah, the other kids make fun of her.
Bathed.
Yeah, the other kids make fun of her. And you're like, and I'm
other
watching.
Poor kids.
Yeah, the other poor kids make fun of her. And I'm like, what's crazy? And they made pig noises at her. And I'm watching this going, this is a Disney film.
I'm watching this shit going, y'all are coming to learn chess over having a warm cup of porridge, and y'all making fun of this girl for smelling. But this is how poor y'all are. Y'all coming to learn to play chess so you can get a free cup of porridge. They were literally drinking porridge. Yeah. I didn't even know people still made porridge.
But that was
2007.
That was their meal. Like that was, if they didn't have that, they had nothing to eat. And it's like, but I'm watching this and I'm going, this is, I can't believe Disney made it. Because when you think Disney, you think Disneyfication of shit. I'm watching this going, it's a Disney film. And Disney is going there. Like Disney is not sugarcoating. This film is not sugarcoated at all. There's no, like, you ever watch these kind of films, they do those Jesse Owens films a little bit. Like, even he's getting called nigger, there's always still somebody coming in going, oh, well, I mean, I'll be honest, the other kids make fun of Fiona, and Robert doesn't really step in and go, no, come on, guys, let's not do. He doesn't do that. He basically, come on, just let it, and just basically. Hey,
and I like that he did that because
that's real.
Another everything that he did with her was a lesson about life, which was also a lesson that helped her become a chess master. And these other kids were all in the same dire situation of poverty, and they all had to overcome different obstacles. Like you pointed out, they had other kids there who were also good chess players, which is pointed out at the end of the movie, the accomplishments they went on to have. But it was just, from the perspective of, she got teased by other poor kids to when they went to like the middle class area and were getting looked at and teased, and like seeing schools for the first time and seeing food that they've never seen before. Regular old shit, fried chicken and shit like that. Like they don't see shit. Yeah. They don't see this type of food where they are.
Dude, that scene where
there are no chickens running around where they at.
Right, that scene where they first get the food, like you can, and like you almost cringe because you're like, oh man, why are they acting? And then you realize like, oh, because they don't eat like this. They literally, like you said, a good meal for them is porridge. What Fiona and her brother were doing, because her brother's also in the program, was also playing chess. What they would do is she would sell corn, and they would go out and sell this stuff for their families and do this, and it's like there's also this other aspect of it where people always telling her mom, Lupita's character, is like, well, if you want to improve your station, if you want to not live in the slums and do this stuff, why don't you get a man? Like literally they tell her that, like she's told this no less than like 3 or 4 times basically.
Bruh, even to a point where Fiona says, if I don't become a chess master, I'm basically gonna have to become somebody's sugar. I'm gonna have to find me a sugar daddy. And they say sugar daddy. I'm gonna have to find me a sugar daddy. That's how real this film is about what happens to women in this situation and how these women get by. And then her sister is a direct example for her. Yes. Her sister is her peering into the future. This film does not take life in this area lightly, and it's rare that we get a film where the hero is actually somebody that can relate to the exact situation that the person they're trying to save or kids they're trying to save are going through. Robert's story is just as bad as their story is. Their stories are. Yep. So it's not there is no white savior that just shows up and is like that will say to them, I don't know what you're going. I know what hard is. I may not know what you're going through, but I can help you get through it. No, this dude actually knows what they are going through. So he has a direct connection to their success, to them making it out.
He has to
that is a real thing to him. He sacrifices so many things to make sure that they get out because people did that for him. Clearly, people did that for him.
Yeah.
He didn't have anybody.
At one point, he breaks the promise to his wife to play soccer for money so he can raise enough money after tricking one of the, I can't remember, the head of the federation to let the slum kids, participate in this chess tournament if he raises enough money for their interest fees. Because they don't even, again, it's a class thing. They don't even want the kids there because at one point, I kid you not, and I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy goes, but what if they have diseases? Yep. I shit you not. he says that, and you're just like,
he says shit white people say about black kids in the States here.
right. And you're
but he
like,
says it about other African kids.
But you don't even get like, and again, when you get that in a white savior movie, it's a caricature, right? It's done almost so silly, like that you're just like, nobody would ever say it. Here you're like, oh no, that real. This is really what you can feel like. I feel like every person who made this film might have had at some point lived that life at some point, because it's just the way they do it and the way it's filmed. It's just, man, this thing it's just.
I don't know. I think a lot of white people are not going to get anything but a warm heart from this film. And black people and African people, like, I specifically would love to see like how people from the motherland feel about this film,
especially or watch
it, and how it's the depiction of their country, you know, the world that they come from that we're not privy to. I would love to hear what their reviews are of this film. I really don't want to hear what white ass Americans' reviews of this film is, because they're not in it. They can't see themselves in it anywhere. They don't exist in this poor ass world of struggle.
And
I don't expect them to give it the greatest of reviews, because they can't relate. They only like to relate when either they see niggas acting ignorant in the American country and go, ha 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 ha, niggas are funny, or when they're like, look at this white man saving all these black kids. See, we help sometimes too. Like, I don't want to see that shit. This is a film where we help ourselves. You're not involved.
Right. You only get white people when she goes to Russia. That's the only first time.
There's more white snow in this film than white people.
Yes.
And this is a film about Africa, y'all. In a film about Africa, there is more white snow than white people. It don't snow in Africa, for people who ain't understanding what I'm saying. Not in that part of Africa, or maybe any part of Africa. I would hope it snows nowhere in Africa. But no in Africa.
Like I said, and they even do a good job of saying that part of the problems with where they're living at in Uganda, I think even not his mom, but I think at some point, I think maybe somehow Robert said there's something happened with him and his folks in the war. I thought I heard him say that. They do a good job of giving you, you know, why things are the way they are a little bit, and that, you know,
I mean, Lupita legit had a family.
Yeah,
she had a family, and then she lost her husband. So
she lost everything. It
wasn't like she was some woman that kept getting knocked up or whatever. That wasn't supposed to be the case. From what I got from it, the case was supposed to be that they had a family, and then they lost their father. So
and they don't say how or why, but I mean, I do know she carried, like, one of the possessions they carried was the family album with their pictures in it. You know, it's a feel good story, but along the way to getting to feel good, you might cry a little bit. And I'm gonna say it right now: is it gonna be a goddamn shame when this film is passed over for any Oscar considerations? It really will be. It will be a goddamn shame. It's already a shame that it's not as high as it should be on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and I think it comes back to what we were saying. This is not a white savior film, and white people don't see how to insert themselves in this film to understand it, which is a goddamn shame. It's not.
I don't know why it has to be about them, and I don't know why there has to be some type of, like, black struggle where we have to interact with white people for us to get a good rating on a white film. But then white ass Woody Allen can go make the whitest film of all time, and they'll constantly give his films high ratings when there's not a person of color in sight. Like, I don't appreciate that shit. And I really hope that black families go see this film. There was a black family in the critics section that had 2 kids. One of them was a toddler. The other one was a legit newborn or baby. And that baby, after a while of watching the film, I was like, this is actually a family film. Like, that baby can't appreciate this film, and that toddler really can't appreciate this film. But you really should take your kids to see this film. Schools need to load up their buses and have a field trip at the movie theater to go see this film. Black schools specifically. I wish Disney had pushed it this way. I wish Disney had just given copies to schools to watch the show.
You know what? I figured it out. We were just talking about this on the last review we did for Magnificent Seven. We were talking about how we have the Birth of a Nation coming out. And I'll say it again on this one. Hey, listen, if you guys want us to go review this movie, you guys know what it's going to be. About 30 minutes of it is going to be me talking about fuck Nate Parker. I'm not going to give it a score. But if you want us to do it for the culture, let us know. We will do it. But for all those out there who want a black film to go see and like, we need to see the Nat Turner film, go see this instead.
Go watch the Nat Turner documentary that's free or whatever right now.
But if you want
then go see this. If you need to give your money to a black film, and this is an African film. This is an African film. So
it's an African film.
You have a problem with that, whatever.
But I think this is a story that, even though it's like you said, it's an African film based in Uganda about this basically Ugandan chess team that they put together at the end. But I think it's a story that even us as African Americans can relate to. So if you want to see that, if you just want to see black bodies in film, black love on screen in all kinds of different ways.
And African black love too. Not like David Oyelowo ain't have no model ass wife or light skinned African model wife. He ain't have no Zoe Saldana in mud paint. He had a legit African woman playing his wife. Like, little things like that make a fucking difference, man. Mm-hmm. Like, they make a huge difference. When you cast really well, and this movie was cast really well,
right?
Which you get to see at the end when they do the side by side takes, of the actors, and they did it for every character because it wasn't that many main characters because it was an all black cast. They didn't need to oversaturate this film with characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I this is a film. You people will say, well, I want to support films with black actors and stuff like that. Support this film. Support this film. I mean, this is everything you got. Like this is it. I mean, it's got a bunch of young African actors in it. I mean, most of them don't even have. Some of them are literally. I'm like, this is their first film.
And that's good. Because they all did very well. Look, my favorite character, I like Fiona. I loved her drive. I loved her ambitions. I loved her struggle. My favorite character was the little chess genius kid, the really young kid. Like that kid was amazing. He was the comic relief.
Just by the way, this is her first film.
Fiona's?
First film.
Good. That's what's up, man.
First and only film.
You got to start somewhere, man.
Only credit on MIDB. IMDb. Go support this film. This is the film you need to support if you are iffy on A Birth of a Nation. Just go
support the film. Period. You can see this and Birth of a Nation, man. Don't take your kids to see Birth of a Nation because that's not a film for kids. But take your kids to go see this because this is a film for kids, and kids should see films like this where there are black kids on screen with black parents and black lives living in black communities doing great things, having black ass accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what we need. We complain about there not being enough films. We've got a good film right here, man. Go support it. And it's not. I mean, yeah, it's about struggle and dire situations, but it's about life. It's not like too harsh. It's not too hardcore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And yeah, life is hard. There's gonna be some tough moments, but it's literally watching. Like, to me, again, her being chess and her having chess as an outlet never overshadows the fact that she's literally trying to use those lessons she learns to basically power her, not just herself, her entire family out, of the thing. Like, when she starts getting better and better and is beating all these kids and is getting to fly, for the first time and go to different places, she starts getting this taste for life. And even, her mom starts going like, you're giving her a taste of this. Told Robert, you're giving her a taste of this. She's not going to be able to come back. You're basically taking my daughter from me because she's never going to be able to come back to live this life like this anymore. So what are you going to do? Like, it's hard, but in the end, it's really about, family coming together and supporting each other. Like, it is a very surprising and great film. I can't, like you said, I think you said it before, it's one of the best films we've seen this year.
No, for me, it is the best film I've seen this year. Like, hands down, it is the best film I've seen this year. And there are a lot of good films this year. People are going to say Civil War is the best film I've seen this year. That's great. I'm not going to debate you on that. I'm saying that this film hit me in the heart. It had everything that I needed that I think should come from a film. I think it definitely should be an Oscar nom for Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Male Actor. And, I don't know, man. I just think it's a really good film. And I hate that they got it in the 70s rating right now, because it should be sitting at like a 98.
Absolutely. I don't even know what are the reviews even saying about this. What are the reviews even saying? Like, I don't even say.
I don't want to read them. I just don't even want to fucking read them. Yeah, because
it's gonna make me mad.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna make me mad. So, God. Yeah.
Some white ass films.
So what will we give this? 10?
Oh, it's a 10. Yeah, this is undeniably a 10.
That's why we oh, she hears it. That's why when Petty said that Magnificent Seven was a 10, I was like, okay. Because I already know what the 10's gonna be tonight.
Just gonna give you a 10 out like that?
You're right. You can't.
We should really make a rule that you're only allowed to have a certain number of 10s a year. And be like, well, that's what you give me your 10
to? That's a good point. Let's do that next year. No, I'm serious. Let's do that next year. We can only give out our 10s, and so that's gonna be a fun joint, because like you give out your 10s too early in the year, yo.
Like, I wish I had to get my 10 out.
We're gonna do that. How many 10s can you have a year?
I think you should be able to have 3 10s a year and 3 fuck yous a year. And that's what you get. So you got to use these motherfucking fuck yous and these motherfucking 10s wisely.
Yo, man, I think the fuck yous are
giving them away to everything.
I think the fuck yous are gonna be the hard one though. I think the 10s are easy. I think the fuck yous though.
There's gonna be a lot of films I want to give a fuck you. We really have to think this shit through. I'm gonna have to actually go check IMDb and see what other films are being released this year. Like next year, when that fucking Mattel film for that Monster Trucks comes out, I'm gonna really have to gauge if that's gonna get because I'm already thinking that's gonna get a fuck you. I'm already ready to give that film a fuck you, but I can't waste these.
Yeah, we should do that. Oh, we gotta talk more about this. Like that might work. Man, I think you might have to do more than maybe 6. No,
I can't. No, that's too many. That's too many.
5?
I'll give. No, that's too many.
Fuck you.
See, look.
For fuck you.
Yes, because the fact that you're trying to increase it, that's what makes it hard. You see.
All right, so
3 strike fuck you.
All right, 3 fuck you.
Don't waste them.
Don't waste them.
3 are coins. 3 are fuck you. Don't waste them.
Zer don't give no more, yo. Zer don't give no more. Yo.
There is no reset for the fuck yous.
Oh man. All right, we doing it then. Next year, guys, starting in 2017, we're implementing a new rule. We can only give out 3 10s, and we can only give out 3 fuck yous for reviews. But it's safe to say that I think this is a 10. Easy. This is a really good one, and it deserves it.
Yeah.
So, there you guys have it. You go check this film out. Seriously, give it your money. Yeah, folks. Check out the rest of our reviews on movietrailerreviews.net or mtrnetwork.net. Search for Movie Trailer Reviews or MTR Network on iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And until next time, we are out of here. Peace.